What are the energies of November 2024? Hi, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Mia, here on Mostly in the Moment for another beautiful monthly forecast. So it's going to be a highly spiritual reading focusing on the energies. I have 7 energies that Spirit had me channel that a lot of people are going to be feeling during this month. I'm going to go through each one and pull a few cards. And at the end, I'm going to list off just a bunch of symptoms and experiences that a lot of light workers, star seeds, twin flames, highly spiritual beings, spiritual warriors, spiritual way showers, light bearers, just whatever you want to call yourself, may be experiencing. You might be experiencing all of these or some of these. You may have already started some of these things last month, and this is probably definitely going to go into December. This could also be timeless if you're experiencing ending of cycles that are like decades long. All right, so the first message is you co-create your manifestations. Let's see what card we get. Yin and Yang, Divine Union. Okay, beautiful. So this is about if you want to manifest a certain person in your life. And for most of you, that could be like a romantic partner, or it could be anything. It could be a friend, a parental type figure, a mentor type figure, someone who's like a sibling type friend, or a really good business partner. But for most of you, it's going to be that romantic life partner, right? If you want certain characteristics in someone, what will happen is that you will link with a consciousness that is kind of close to whatever it is that you want, and that also wants those same things. And they will start to change to become a little bit more of what you want, which is also a little bit more of what they want. And vice versa. If they link up to your consciousness, your spirit, and because both of you are like, I want a partner, I want these characteristics in a partner, your consciousnesses will link up, your energy will link up, and they'll start to change, and they'll start to become a little bit more of what you want and what you're looking for, and you'll start changing and becoming a little bit more of what they want. The caveat here is that you have to find someone who also wants those things for themselves, and it's mostly what they want for themselves. It could be slightly different, so you'll start going through these changes as they start going through these changes, and you'll find each other, because that's what you're looking for, someone who is like that. So you co-create these manifestations. Even when you bring in a partner or a family member or friend or business partner or someone of significance, you start manifesting this with your thoughts, and you connect with someone who is manifesting something similar, wants something similar. It's kind of already has the background for that. You already kind of have the background of what they want. And so that kind of happens like that. What's Spirit's guidance about this? Judgment in reverse. You're sending out the call. Inner calling, a new phase, awakening, forgiveness, mercy, a moment of self-reflection. You're linked up to them when you're really, really connecting to your true heart's desire, when you're really like authentically saying, like, I want these attributes in a person, in a partner, in a life, in a marriage, in a relationship, in work, in whatever you want it to be in. Like when you're speaking honestly, truly, and authentically, you are connecting with their consciousness, and you're building this manifestation with them. You're building this relationship with them immediately. So as soon as you have those thoughts, Spirit is automatically building people that you can connect to. You're connecting to people automatically, changing their life path and them changing yours. So you come into contact with each other, come into physical union with each other, with all the things that you were thinking in deep, authentic thought. That's really divine. And how might this unfold? We have the Seven of Wands. Okay, it's kind of like that feeling when when you manifest something that you want, you're like, this is not what I wanted. It's like, and then you like you like talk to the person, you think about it for a while. It's like, oh my gosh, actually, this person exactly what I wanted, in terms of their looks, in terms of their personality, in terms of how they connect with me, our interests, our similar passions and stuff. Like, I feel like you get that kind of knee-jerk reaction, like, of like when you actually come across that person that you meet that you manifested, you have a knee-jerk reaction where you're just like, no, this is not what I wanted. This is not them. You can't believe it. And it might look differently than what you pictured in your mind, but in your mind, you didn't really picture them at all. So you're just you just have your guard up. Your ego is like putting the shields up, and it's like, no, this isn't the person. But then as soon as you let your guard down, it's like, oh yeah, actually this is exactly the person. So I feel like that's what's happening. Spirit's like, yeah, there's like a divine union happening here. And so that's what's going to be happening in November for a lot of people is you're going to finally come into physical union, physical contact with this person you've been manifesting so deeply. All right, so let's look into the second energy. So the second energy is about the roles of others in your past. So if you've had a desire to be a certain person yourself, you probably had come across a lot of people in your life that helped you become that person, whether it was through opposition or through, friendship, mentorship. So a lot of you have high ambitions, high goals for yourself, right? Infinity. You see yourself as being a really divine being that's like has infinite possibilities, infinite things you can be successful in. I feel like you're the kind of person who had a hard time choosing what you wanted to do in life because there's so many things you did want to do. There's so many directions you could go in. There's so many things that you want to master and be successful in. And it kind of slowed down your progress because there was like so many things you wanted to do and so many things you could do. You're really well-rounded. You have well-rounded knowledge, experience, and wisdom that it was kind of tough to kind of narrow it down. And then at some point you're like, why should I narrow it down? Let the floodgates open. Let me do all of it as much as I can in this lifetime, right? You're not limiting yourself anymore, right? But in order to get to where you are, you probably have had a ton of opposition, a ton of opposition. And you might have found that at key moments in your life, you had the exact friend or the exact mentor or the exact person that you needed in your life, if you really, really absolutely needed a friend or guidance or some help, that person showed up. But for most of your life, it was just like a ton of opposition of people telling you that's not how you're supposed to live life. That's not the right career path to go down. That's not how you find the right mate for yourself. That's not how you do this and that and the other thing. And it took so much opposition to finally get to where you are now, which is a crazy, lovable, highly spiritual person, you to get to this point where you had to be hands up, I have to admit that there's something out there and I believe it completely and fully and I'm all on board, and wherever the divine wants to take me, I'm all for it. It takes an incredible amount of courage. You had to completely change your entire belief system, maybe not just once or twice, but multiple times, refine and edit it. Do a lot of research on your own, find a lot of people who are like you, find out information by yourself. There aren't many books and videos and people talking about this, at least when, back in the day, not too long ago. And so you had to go against a lot of opposition to get to where you are now. Okay, so what does Spirit has to say in terms of guiding you through this? Yeah, institutions, traditions, religion, society as its rules, social approval, conformity, trust, forgiveness. You didn't conform. And you're going to find that the age that we're going into is the age of Aquarius. like, you are the new set of rules, and they are the natural laws. They are universal laws. So you are the new, like, person leading this, like, systemic change, really changing societal rules, what's okay, what's not okay. You led the way in that. Yeah, so that might be coming up for you to kind of review, like, how much you had to go through to become the person you are, and how rare and beautiful it is, and how many people don't actually do that, and how you're one of a kind, rare jewel, chosen one because of it, you know? Okay, and how might this unfold? Seven of Swords. Okay, so we got 2 sevens here. Wands and now swords. You know, it was kind of funny because I feel like it was like tough trying to talk to people about the truth when they had their own truths and you had your own truths, and then there's like the objective truth, but there's like a switch happening from what people believed was the truth to the new truth. You can see people's perceptions changing. Therefore their, like, consciousness changing as they become more aware and as they open their minds and hearts up. And you're ahead of this. So you might find, like, people who point fingers at you and called you a liar or said you were crazy or didn't find stock in your whatever you were saying, like, be the ones to actually come to you for more information now. So you're going to be kind of like feeling this, like, shift happen. And this shift happens in November. It starts in November 2024, where you're going to see people completely switch sides, you know, from being like atheist to more spiritual, to believing this truth about their reality to this truth about their reality, to, you know, saying that this doesn't exist or this is not real, to, you know, switching that. Like, you're going to see a real switch in consciousness and perceptions in people. And the people who have the most experience in this truth, which is you and people on our wave, are going to be the one naturally leading this. You can see new institutions, new ideas about spirituality and healing and how to run things, how to run the entertainment business, how to run the music business, how to run the political system, like, how, just making changes left and right, because it's like you knew it. It's like an innate in you. Like, this is the truth. Like, we're not living naturally, organically. Like, naturally, organically, you know how to form systems that works for everyone in the community. And is it working for everyone in the community? No, this is a broken man-made system that's not following natural law, the universal laws, you know? All right, so let's go on to the third energy. Okay. Which is about healing core fear. So this is about when you're healing, you will go through, like, you'll come across, like, whatever triggers you. Like, you'll go to your first trigger. Whatever is triggering you in the moment, that was the most recent trigger, you'll start with that. And once you kind of deal with that and why that trigger is annoying you or upsetting you so much, and you kind of unload that trigger, you'll go to the previous trauma or event that is related to that trigger, right? And is related to that wound or that fear. And you keep going all the way back until you get to the first or initial wound or fear that set off all these other triggers and events, trauma events throughout your life, you know? So you just keep going back. You just start with, like, the first trigger that was immediate, that was around you, you know, something just set you off, and you'll kind of work through it. And you're like, you know what? I'm probably upset about that because of this thing that happened, you know, before that. And then you unload that and pack that. And it doesn't happen, like, overnight. Might be something you go through cycles. So you might do it every season and until you kind of figure it out. You might do it every year until you kind of figure it out. You might do it every few years until you get to the core wound or the core fear. So what's the message here? The sacral chakra. Okay. So we know it's a creative block. It's a creative block. It's a sexual block. It's a block in, if your sacral chakra is blocked, like it's probably going to block your root chakra. So like all the divine channelings that come through the crown and go all the way through all the other chakras, it might get stuck at the sacral chakra, so it doesn't go to the root chakra to manifest. So you might have manifestation issues. And also, if you have a lot of input coming in from your external environment, you're getting very sensual. The input that's coming in from touching other people, creating with your hands, being out in nature, if that doesn't go through and you're not able to kind of bring it into your solar plexus, like the sacral chakra being blocked is such a huge thing for people right now. You can see it with diet or food being like effed up. You can see it in people's people using their sexual energy completely unauthentically and not sacredly. You can see people's creativity being blocked, their authenticity, their expression. So it's a huge problem right now. People don't know how to love others because they don't know how to love themselves. They don't know what about themselves that they love. They tend to negative self-talk or go to hate, and they hate other people. You can see how much anger is out there. It's all coming up for the collective to kind of look at and go through, and like everyone needs to see it's their own individual journey. There's like big problems within groups, and that's been happening forever. People manifest often in groups to deal with the same kind of wound or traumatic event. Through history, you can see certain kinds of groups, if they had to face this kind of war together, they might manifest together, people in similar countries or similar backgrounds, or similar family. The family usually kind of reincarnates within themselves because they're trying to work through some sort of trauma or something that needs to be healed, some sort of karma. So it starts with you individually as a person. If you're kind of yelling at everyone else because they're not doing this right, or that's a problem with the world and blah blah blah, and you're whining and crying, like that you have to go within. Like, stop blaming everyone else, go within yourself. There's always going to be problems in the world, always. There's always going to be people doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Like, you need to just focus on yourself, and the people that matter to you the most, and that's it. Right? Then you can, once you work through that healing, and you can do it naturally, do it often. Like, if anything comes up, you can heal yourself. If a trigger comes up, you can stop yourself. If a issue comes back from your past, you know how to heal yourself. Then maybe you can go and help other people, like in your immediate family, which is great. Just to be able to do it for yourself, that means you're a good person. To be able to do it for the people you love around you, that's great. And to be able to do it for larger groups of people, the community, in the world, you're a legendary person. So you can see that people aren't being good. They're not focusing on themselves, and they're blaming everyone else, their family and communities and larger groups. It's like, bring it back to yourself. Like, if you're out there yelling at the biggest groups of people, you have the biggest problems to solve within yourself. It's just kind of like, at this point, it's a scale for me. You can, just by seeing what people are upset about, seeing how people treat other people, how they interact with other people in normal settings, like, that shows me how much internal work they have to do. It's a better test than if I just pull cards themselves. Like, I can immediately tell. You if you're watching this reading, you could probably immediately tell, when people have too much that they need to heal and work on. So that's a huge blockage. What is Spirit's guidance for this? Ooh, the 10 of Cups. divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment. To be aware of the issue is to begin the healing process. But the people that I'm talking to on this channel, on my wave, you're ahead of the crowd, right? You're ahead of the wave, ahead of the collective. You've done that healing, because now that you can be aware of it in other people, now that you've completed your healing journey, or like the big healing journey to get you to this blissful life, you can finally enjoy it. And you're going to see that you're more like creative. You're going to want to pursue more creative hobbies and more creative pursuits at this time. It's just going to come naturally. You're flowing. The energy's flowing. There's not that blockage again. This is a good indication that not just you, but your whole like soul group has also kind of cleared that block, which is why you're going to be coming into union with a lot of people who have also cleared that energetic block and are going to be more expressive, are going to be have like healed sexual energy, healed creative energy. Like creativity is limitless. Intuitive pings are limitless. Ideas are limitless. So if you have something blocking that, that's something you have to go with it. Like if you have creative block, or if you have writer's block or something, like that means something's like wrong in your life. You have to fix that, right? But this is like on a bigger scale. This is like with your life. It felt like you couldn't get to that career or that mission or that purpose or connect with people in the right way, or you know, you're fully charged and you couldn't get that action, you couldn't get that right opportunity in whatever you want to be creative, expressive in, divine in, or to have that really strong, deep connections with other people that matter to you. Now you're going to have it. All right. And then lastly, how might this unfold for you? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. You see this person here kind of like just had enough. Just so tired from overworking. So the 2 10s here, I feel like it's like a different cycle. And I feel like you're going to be working a lot, but finally in the things that you want to be working on in the ways that you want to be working on them. So like you're going to be seeing that your career or your hobbies, your pursuits, your work that you do in life is going to be all things you like to do. The people you connect with are going to be people that you have a really deep connection with, really deeply resonate with, and are on the same page with, understands you very well, you understand them very well, same wavelength, everyone. And so it's going to feel like you have a better output, like you're doing more work and you're enjoying it and you have the energy for it. You have energy for even more if you wanted to, but it's just because you're finally aligned with the work and the people that you want to do. All right, so let's go into the 4th energy. I feel like I want to do the 3rd energy here. Yeah, this makes more sense. The 4th energy is exploring your true self. So people often act in the way they think that others expect them to act, or they act in the opposite way that people expect them to act, to kind of rebel. But it's all playing off of others' energies. If you need to be around people and environments that are more aligned to who you are, what would that look like for you? And how would you see yourself expressing yourself then? So we're going into more of that expression energy. So like we all have the tendency to kind of behave in a way that's expected of us by the people around us, or the opposite, go against what people expect of us because we're, you know, rebelling, because we're angry or frustrated, or we don't like how things are going. But we often kind of play off the energies of people around us, whether it's like agreeing with them or disagreeing with them, right? And so what's the message here? The root chakra. Okay, see, interesting. We've got the sacral chakra and the root chakra. Which is, I'm getting, causing problems with your manifestation. So we touched on that a little bit on the third energy, but the fourth, yeah, so your manifestation abilities have been kind of blocked. And it's because the people that you were connecting with were completely different in the things that you want to manifest. So you're trying to manifest these 5D things, and the people around you are trying to manifest these 3D things. You were just not you weren't hooked up to the right generator. You weren't hooked up to the right energy source or people that could amplify that energy. You're around people who are doing the opposite and shutting off that manifestation. So you're in a real manifestation rut. Even if you were able to manifest things here and there, it took a lot of concentration. It took a lot of deep thought, a lot of feeling into that moment, really repetitive thoughts for a long period of time. You're a master being. You're a supreme divine being. You're not supposed to have that kind of manifestation block. It's supposed to be easier. It's supposed to flow better. So what's Spirit's guidance here? The 7 of Swords twice here. Okay. Coming clean, confession, regret, betrayal, deception, theft. Yeah. Okay, this is it. Betrayal, deception, theft, dishonesty, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery, and fraud. You are manifesting the way that other people are trying to manifest. You're trying to manifest in a 3D way. And the way that your manifestations came through is sometimes if you did it in a 3D way. A little bit 5D, a little bit 3D, because you're trying to go into the 5D energy. You have to have those 5D thoughts and beliefs and goals. But unless you did it in a 3D way, it wasn't going to manifest. So I'm getting here that wasn't authentic to who you are. You manifest in a 5D way. You're in the 5D energy now. A lot of people can feel this kind of switch that happened at the end of October. You're going to continue feeling that switch in November into December. You're going to feel it. November is like the huge switch, but people who are kind of like ahead of the energies felt it in October, where you switch into 5D energies, right? So the way you manifest is going to change. It's going to be easier, but it's going to be different. You're not going to manifest in the 3D way. So before, what did you do? Like you had a goal, something you want to manifest. You had to keep it specific. You want to keep it like focused on that one thing. You don't want to focus. You don't want to manifest a million things at once. You want to keep it focused on one thing. You want to keep that very powerful thoughts, very powerful feelings towards that. Do you write it? Do you say it? Affirm it? Do you see it? Do you have it written so you can see it? Do you have visuals that remind you of that manifestations? You have to see it often. It takes a long time. And then you had to take some action on it in a 3D way to make it come through. Spirit is saying that this is going to be different. And seeing as there's 2 7 of Swords here, I feel like you're going to be leading the way in figuring out how this new 5D way of manifesting is going to be. Spirit saying something is wrong about my channeling right there, so I'm going to correct it. How is this going to look? Justice. Okay, they're not saying the manifestation technique is particularly wrong, although you will think of a different way to manifest, and it has to do with working with other people and the way that they manifest. But that's Spirit saying that's a conversation for another time. Right now, they want to focus on what you are manifesting. What you want to manifest was completely different from what other people around you want to manifest. And so you aren't getting the juice from the people around you to manifest that. It's very hard being your own generator and having to manifest those things on your own. And that's why they didn't manifest fast enough. Even with the light worker grid up, you got to be kind of in contact with those others that want to manifest the same things as you in person, really getting on the same page in detail, as much with as much visuals as you can, kind of getting on the same page visually and detail wise in order to manifest. Spirit is saying you weren't able to do that because people you were around didn't want to manifest the same things as you or didn't have that in mind. It was really hard to juice the kind of manifestations you wanted by yourself. Power up the manifestations you wanted by yourself. Even with the light worker grid up, it takes a long time. That was kind of the purpose, is light workers kind of all around the world, kind of making grand changes in consciousness and energy all around the world. But if you want to get more physical manifestations in your life, you have to come together in person with another person who is on the same energy at length as you. They don't have to call themselves a light worker or anything, but whatever, same energy as you. And kind of visualize and think of in detail as much as you can that same manifestation. Yeah, because you are subtly feeding into other people's energies, the people around you. So you're helping them manifest what they want. They're helping you manifest what you want, but it's like very like a blanketed, very safe, very subtle, boring, casual manifestations. You need some like change makers. You need people who are on your same wavelength and who are willing to kind of have talks with you about very deep specifics of manifestations that you want for your own individual lives, and that's going to help change the manifestation. Especially because your sacral chakra is being unblocked. It seems like your root chakra is being unblocked. Forget the thing I said earlier about the way that you manifest. That's going to change too, but Spirit gave me some downloads about that, like how your manifestation ability is going to link up with another person's manifestation abilities, but they're like, that's for another time. Just focus on, if you want to manifest things in the physical right now, this is how you do it. Especially because you do have divine union coming in, so you do have a partner of some sort coming in who's going to be on your same wavelength. You've been manifesting each other. It'd be wise to kind of practice that manifestation, physical manifestation with that person. Make it more individual to your own life. Yeah. All right, so let's go into the fifth energy here, which is about the impact of collective energy. So if you're in an environment where people see you and want things from you that is something different than what you want, and this is continuing with like the last kind of thought. Yeah, that's something different than what you want for yourself. It will cause like a clash in energy, and it will come out in unfavorable ways. So this is something that a lot of people are realizing, waking up from, moving away from, and doing something about, which is like knowing that if you're around a lot of people who are subtly pushing on you their desires for you and their wishes for you and what they want from you, what they want to see from you, even if it's very subtle, like just a slight bit of jealousy or a slight bit of oh, I wish they did this or did that. But if it's a little bit from people, it doesn't affect you that much, right? Unless you're really, really weak. But if it's like a bunch of people who are seeing you in a similar way that is different from how you want to see yourself or different from what you want for yourself, that can manifest in you something different than what you wanted. So this does not affect you if you're in your power, but even if you slip for just a moment and you're at an event and you're in your power, you're feeling good, people see you that way, if you just like have like a weak moment here or there, it might, and everyone there kind of sees you in a different way or wish you would do this or want you to be that or want this from you. it might come out as soon as you kind of accidentally become weak in a moment or doubt yourself. Like the slip in moment, that slip in energy could just force their manifestations on you, because even if it's subtle, but if it's like a bunch of people, it will like happen to you, right? You can overpower this if you're really, really strong in your power, and you that power and that faith that you are connected to the divine and nothing can touch you. That will literally give you a shield. Like nothing is more powerful than if you love yourself, if you love the divine, and you feel like connected, and you're in that high frame of mind. Nothing can penetrate that energy shield you have. But if as soon as you slip, if you're kind of like not feeling the most powerful, not in your power or anything, if you let it slip, if you're at that event and people want different things from you and it's like very similar, it might come through. It might clash with your energy. It might manifest within you, and so you'll be like, what is happening with me, you know? And it's like, that's why you want to be kind of aware of the people you spend time with or events you go to, you know, especially if you're not feeling in your power. Okay, so what's the message here? Earth Star Chakra. Getting a lot of chakras here. The Earth Star Chakra is like goes beyond the root chakra. So it's funny that we're hitting like the lower chakras. The sacral chakra, the sixth chakra, the root chakra, the seventh chakra, and then the Earth Star Chakra is even below the root chakra. It connects all the way to the heart of the earth. So it's a really beautiful energy to connect to, because it's like you're not just manifesting something for your own individual life. Now we're going into manifesting something for the collective. So the collective energy can have an influence on you, and you can have an influence on the collective energy. But yeah, like if you constantly put yourself in an environment where people want something different from you, see you subtly different in a way that you don't want to see yourself, or want something from you that you don't want to give out, or want something negative to happen to you that you don't want for yourself. Like if you just let your energy slip and there's like too many people around you that have that desire for you, it can cause that issue if you're not in your power. But the spirit is saying the opposite of that. You also have so much incredible power. You learn to hone your power. You learn to be super confident and protected, and know the power comes from knowing yourself. You understand yourself. You know yourself. You know you're connected to the divine. You know how spiritually powerful you are, and your power is so strong now. You've stepped into the 5D, so your sacred, sexual, and creative energies are unblocked. Your manifestation abilities for your own physical life unblocked. And now you're taking it a step further. You're able to manifest something for collectives, for entire groups. That's how big your power is. Okay, so Spirit's guidance for you. Opportunities, wishful thinking, choices, illusion, preparing for purpose. Oh, it says searching for purpose, but I heard preparing for purpose. And the 7 of Cups. Oh my goodness. So we have 7. That's so funny. I've been seeing a lot of like repeating 7s recently. Okay. Yeah, so 7. You know, so you're on the path to a lot of opportunities. At least one for now, which is going to lead to just more, but you have at least one opportunity coming in now, November, that is going to align you with your higher purpose. Right? And you kind of know this. Like if you've been following my readings and if you've been listening to the energy forecast, like you know this is coming. You know, so this coming in now, like at least one opportunity that's related to your bigger purpose. And it's going to allow you to be creative. It's going to allow you to connect to people that resonate with you very deeply. It's going to allow you to manifest some things physically, materially, financially. We all kind of knew that. It starts with one opportunity and it kind of expands into many opportunities that come to you. Maybe within that same opportunity or outside of that opportunity, but there's just going to be a lot that comes through. But the first one comes through in November. Yeah, wow. And you're on track. You're like so supremely on track. There's this experience that you can have when you're very much in line with your true purpose, and when you're so connected to the divine and your true authentic self. Like when you go to different places that like, you know, if you're just running errands, for example, and you go to you know, drop off a package or go to the grocery store, or even if you just like, you know, park your car in a random parking lot for a second just to get things together, like you just see a bunch of people come through like right after. You know, they just kind of crowd to that energy. Like a bunch of people just line up after you get there and it was just like quiet for like ever. Or a bunch of people just like swarm you in that area, that parking lot, like as soon as you just like get out, you just see like 50 million people. Like that's the kind of energy of just like when you're so aligned, you just start drawing people to you. You start kind of activating the universe. Then the universe starts bringing in a lot of energy around you. So a lot of people, places, and things. So I'm getting this image of like you're showing yourself. You're showing your light. Your light is being uncovered. And we can see that with the unblockage of the sacral root and the earth star chakra, connecting with your divine, having divine unions with your divine counterpart, whether it's romantic or otherwise, and recognizing your infinite soul and your access to infinite wisdom, which is your light, love, and the lower chakras here are being unblocked. And what happens when you bring in that infinite amount of light and love through the lower chakras? They're going to manifest some crazy ass shit here, a light worker, you know? There's some beautiful things coming through. Okay, so how might this unfold? The high priestess, yeah. Get ready to be like so super activated that you just like bring through like just amazing manifestations, amazing opportunities, amazing people that you want to connect with, amazing people that just want to learn from you, amazing people that just want to network with you, amazing financial opportunities, amazing opportunities for material and physical wealth and well-being. You're going to see a change in your body as like your lower chakras kind of activate and start bringing through all these high powered divine energies. Your light has turned on. You always held this much energy within you. I'm getting that it was like the lower chakras were blocked. So like I feel like your solar plexus, like somehow you were prevented from shining your light, like shining your sun, but now it's like no longer. Okay, let's go into the next energy, see where this goes. Okay, the sixth energy is about being empowered to step away. Okay, so others see you how you see yourself. It's mirrored in others because they pick up on that energy. So when you're around other people, they just mirror back to you what energy you're giving off. You know, everyone has their own consciousness and their own beliefs, and they might want this and that from you. But at the end of the day, if you're giving off a certain energy, other people are also antennas and can pick up on those energies and will, you know, it's called when a wave hits reflect. The word I was thinking about is reflect. Okay, when it reflects back to you, they're just going to echo to you exactly what you echo to others, you know? So, you know, if you are feeling really confident, people are going to be like, oh yeah, this person's really confident. They know what they're talking about. If you have a little bit of doubt, or you feel like, I'm not looking my best today, or like, I wish I didn't say that something stupid, or people are going to think that I'm like, don't have any money, or I don't know what I'm doing with my career, or I'm unsuccessful, or, you know, I don't know what I'm doing with my love life, or I don't know these terms, I'm not smart enough, I'm not, you know, I don't know these references, or I'm not well versed in this area, or, you know, whatever you get yourself down on, it reflects, you put it out there and they'll pick up on it and they'll put it back in your face, and that'll be unpleasant, right? Yeah, so they pick up on that energy and they mirror it back to you. Even if there's a switch in perception, the energy changes the way that you see yourself immediately. So even if you like are confident and then you go back to being weak, their reflection of that energy will change almost immediately too. And then if you go back to being confident, you'll see that their energy also changes as well. But if you've outgrown your perceptions, chances are that you've also outgrown the people and places and things, or a lot of those people, places, and things that reflected back those perceptions of yourself. And unless they are folks that are willing to grow in their perceptions, therefore are willing to grow in their consciousness, grow as individuals. So if there's people who mirrored to you a lot of things about yourself that helped to get you where you are now, and those perceptions no longer help you, you've probably outgrown them. Unless there's people in that group, or if there's places or environments or things in that groups that grew with you, are learning to grow as well. They don't have to be in the same place as you in terms of growth, but as long as they're willing to grow, they'll probably be okay to be around your circles. It's kind of like, for example, if you're if you grew up in a certain place, or you lived a long time in a certain area, and you have a lot of memories in that area of experiences that no longer serve you. Like, why would you keep yourself in that area to be reminded of those experiences that no longer help you? When you've grown, when you learned, grown, evolved, and moved on. Like, so it's kind of like that energy was like time. You have to know when it's time to move on, kind of thing, and you do. When you know it will empower you to do so. So what's the message here? Birthing the new. Okay. Yeah, so you're moving into a new place energetically and therefore physically. So you're going to have new people around you. You're going to have new environments around you, new opportunities around you, maybe even a new home, maybe even a new career, maybe even a new lifestyle, maybe even a new body or new interests, new hobbies, like whatever it is, like your external life, physical life, is going to mirror the changes you've made inside of you, and the amount that you've changed within you, that as drastic that is as drastic the changes externally are going to be. So what's Spirit's guidance here? The Two of Pentacles. Multiple priorities, new time management, juggling, adaptability, negotiation, balancing decisions, weighing options. Okay, so I got this thing about when you're leaving the 3D, it overlaps with you going into the 5D, but like there's like some time that it overlaps where, for example, like how you treat money, it might have been different when you were in 3D. In 3D, you might have been like saving a lot. You might be putting in different like budgets and like saving for a rainy day, and knowing when to use that savings that you were saving for a rainy day, like just kind of like a 3D mindset of like when it comes to money. And that was very helpful when we were all in kind of more of a 3D state of mind and reality, right? But with us all moving into more of a 5D reality, you can't just instantaneously manifest money right here, right now. Give me $10,000 in my hand in this moment. My hand's kind of tingly. That's kind of weird. But like, I'm just saying, like we're not at that point either, right? Or we can just do instantaneous manifestations, or like, what would I use that $10,000 for? give me a $10,000 worth of gold necklace. That didn't manifest either, right? Wow, my hand feels heavy. So that's not the point. Like, we're not there either where we can manifest instantaneously, right? So we have to be like kind of work in this like transition phase, overlapping 3D and 5D mentality way of looking at things. So you have to be in both. So people are like, well, what's gonna work? The 3D way of thinking, where we have to save for a rainy day and budget and like spend responsibly, and also like the 5D way where you feel like abundant and you always have enough and you always get what you need. So which way is the right way to think? Because if you just do 5D, you're going to end up broke on the street, right? If you just do 3D, then you're not going to accomplish all those 5D goals that you had and be able to get to a place where you can manifest more easily, right? It's both. You're going to have to be able to have both beliefs in your mind at the same time. And that's kind of where going into we're going into 5D. Like, there's a transition phase where it's kind of like you're going to have to be okay and accept both ways, both beliefs at the same time. Even though you're moving into this one, you still have this one. You're still in we're still in this 3D energy sometimes, in order to go fully into the 5D. The best way to do it at this time is to be able to hold both beliefs at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see how this will unfold. Judgment in reverse. Oh, interesting. We had that judgment in reverse in the first energy. Keep humans pure. Yeah, I feel like there's an energy of like going into the 5D can easily be manipulated. Like, look what's happening with the spiritual community or any community. Like, being awakened was a great spiritual thing about you're finally realizing that you're connected to the divine, and the divine is constantly connecting to us. This energy is all around us. We can constantly work with our higher self. And then they changed it to woke. And then now these woke folk are the worst people in this country, who have like no sense of awareness, and a completely opposite of the beautiful word of being spiritually awakened. There's another word that I can't think of, but like was like co-opted, and it's just like can you see that they're like taking like people's ideas like for the 5D, their visions for the more harmonious future, and kind of trying to take it over that idea and then manipulate it and put it back and seed it back into the minds of humans to manifest what they want rather than what people actually want. So you have to be like careful. Like, you can see that people are being tricked or have been tricked into thinking that they want something that's good for people and humanity and the earth. But it's actually not. And, like playing on people's like emotions, and, people who are easily manipulated don't do their own research and find the truth for themselves by finding the truth within, discerning, learning that by becoming aware and listening to your own guidance and your own intuition. So you can see that there's a lot of people who've been kind of taking over 5D ideas and visions to suit their own needs. Let's say like dark energies. So there's a little bit of like keeping your foot in the 3D while you're stepping into the 5D. Like, you might be stepping into the 5D, but there's like an advantage of having your foot in the 3D for a little bit right now. All right. Let's see the seventh and final energy, and then we'll go into the symptoms and experiences that you might be having this month. Okay, so for 7 is if you've been searching for something outside of yourself, you've been probably searching for something within yourself. So for example, if you've been trying to find the perfect career, or what career you should do, or if you should go down this path or that path, should you switch, should you move forward with this job, current trajectory, if you're looking for a partner, what do you want in a partnership? If you're looking for friends or home or some sort of excitement and adventure in your life, you are probably looking for something within yourself, most likely than not. Because you're probably likely finding this like new version of yourself that you want to become. And once you do find this version of yourself that you want to become and then become that person, you'll see that the steps, actions, and opportunities will align with you immediately, and you'll immediately get jobs, opportunities in that line of work or in that career or your current job position. You'll immediately have people, like relationship potentials show up, romantic partnership potentials, even the right partner. You'll have friends or people you can network with. The right people come through. You'll find that home that you were looking for, or figure out what it is around your home that you want to change, or where you want to live. You'll have a lot of opportunities for excitement and adventure and new things and old things that you want to do. And it's just a matter of finding out what version of yourself you want to become. Because you're trying to figure out, like, if you're trying to figure out what career or what kind of partner, or where should I find the partner, or where do I want to move, or how do I get more money, or how can I have more fun in my life, like whatever you're trying to figure out, you have to figure out what version of yourself has that. Because that's the kind of person you want to grow into. Your soul and spirit's like, I want to be different. I want to be more like this. And so figure out what that version of yourself is, and then become that person in your energy, and the way that you present yourself, and the way you act, and the way that you know this is what you're going to be doing. And like, get little things that remind you of that, be in that energy. And then you'll see that once you're aligned, it's even as soon as you figure out who that version of yourself is, then you'll see things start aligning automatically. You'll become more and more in that energy. So you just, if you want like a different career, if you're trying to figure something out, like what career path should I live in, or should I stay here, should I move, or should I stay friends with this person, or if there's anything you're trying to figure out in your life, it's like you telling yourself that you want to change. Maybe you want to go back to who you were, maybe you want to change to a better version of yourself. Figure out who this person is completely, and then become that person. So what is the message here from Spirit? Creator Gateway Chakra. Okay, so we got some chakras up in here. Spirit's like, we're going for it. We got the love, divine love. We got the infinite light, wisdom, truth. And then we got the lower chakras going all the way to the earth chakra. And then we got birthing the new. So you're creating a whole new world, reality, environment, life for yourself as you step into the 5D. But you have a foot in the 3D for a reason. But the Creator Gateway Chakra. So that's like the highest chakra you can access in this physical plane. So like if you go by the 12 chakra system, that's like the highest. And like, have your crown chakra, and then you have like the soul star chakra, and some people have like other chakras in between. But like the stellar gateway chakra is like the highest chakra you can reach, right? That's like your infinite being, connecting to your infinite being. Okay, what does Spirit have to say about this? 7. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 7, 7. 7. 7. Was there another 7? 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 4, and then 7. 5 sevens in a row. That is, wow. That's like crazy. That like, you definitely know that means like you're on the right path. There's something incredibly powerful is happening spiritually. The number 5 is denoting change. So there's a powerful spiritual change happening in your life right now, and it's about to just like show up in your physical. It has been showing up, but it seems like it's going to be showing up more. It seems like you've been seeing a lot of changes in your energetic body, and you're going to start seeing things in your physical body and in your physical environment as well. So let's see how this will unfold. The Sun card. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh wow. I don't use this deck often, so it's like kind of nice to see all these images. They're very colorful. Okay, the Sun card. Are you kidding me? It's going to get better each and every day. When the sun comes out in reverse, that means that it's going to get better and better as each passing day passes. So it's just going to get increasingly better, maybe even exponentially so. Because you're connecting to, wow, the high, like the 12th dimension. You know, there's a lot of people here that connect to, obviously, dimensional planes that are higher than 5D. You know, most of us, we start, especially if we're spiritual, we connect to energies and versions of ourselves and other beings that are on a dimensional plane higher than 5D. But you are one of those rare special souls, beautiful light worker. You connect to some of the highest levels of creation, 12D and higher. Yeah, I can't imagine the kind of, I can imagine actually, I've connected to many of those very, very high frequency, high level energetic beings. Yeah, wow. You know, there's a lot of people out there who kind of are talking shit about tarot. It's like, oh, people don't know what they're doing, especially a lot of people in the Christian faith. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing, and then they connect to dark energies and spirits, and you know, they don't know how to protect themselves. They're not, you know, working on their energies to learn and grow. They're not, you know, being of light most of the time, you know, like with light workers, with divine souls, like, you know, you're 51% or better. Like the actions you take, the decisions you make, how you treat others is 51% at the least good. You know, but most of us are like kind of in the higher percentile, especially those that are leading the wave. So the ones I'm connecting to here are like the highest of the high. I know because I started going through this energy in the last couple of weeks of October when I told you like there's going to be like a 10-day portal. I felt the energies come in. So like this shift into 5D, I felt it come in. And so now we're going to go into some of the symptoms and experiences that you might have this month. So I mentioned the thing about like people just showing up in crowds wherever you go. That's how you know you're going to be like super aligned with your authentic energy. So that often happens like when you're super connected and you're going to know that your light's like shining on. Your light's turned on and it's bright and people can see you now. You know, like that's how you're going to know. So delay and 2 of Swords in reverse. So, okay, there's this energy that like you were kind of blocked for a little while from all the like your light turning on, from you being able to kind of move forward in your life. There's a lot of blockages, and I talked about this in one of the readings I did recently. I forget which one, but it was kind of like you were kind of being blocked a little bit from the divine, from fully coming on board, and like, cause like you can mess with things, you know, but Spirit had to make sure that you were in like the right state of consciousness, the right that your mind was in a good place, that you're doing it for like divine reasons. Because once you get these powers, you can have the ability to mess things up, you know. So they want to make sure that you're aligned with like, they want to confirm that you know, what your goals are in life, that you'll most likely stick to those goals and you'll go through it. And that once your powers and abilities and wisdom and like past life knowledge and all that stuff turns on, you know, you're most likely going to follow through. So you were picked and chosen, but like everyone has free wills. There's a chance that some of these light workers that have their powers come on, you know, fall back. Like look how many psychics there are and tarot card readers and, you know, people who say that they're for the people, but then they like go up there and they F with people and they do it for money and for profit and for power and for fame or whatever, you know? So like you had to be like checked and double checked, and you had to be like, you know, background checked, and you had to be like super tested, and you had to like, you know, you were being held back, and you probably felt that too. And it's because once that light turns on, everyone's going to gravitate to you. Opportunities are going to gravitate to you. Your manifestations are going to gravitate to you. You're going to have ability to manifest more instantaneously. You're going to be able to collect information from past lives, wisdom and experience from past lives, abilities and skill sets from past lives, be able to look into people's energies and, you know, work your spiritual magic, whatever your intuitive gifts are. So it's like once it's turned on, like, you know, it's most likely not going to turn off unless like God smites you because you're going horribly, completely the other way. But like, you know, spirit won't do a tower moment unless you're completely, absolutely going 180 in the wrong direction, you know, and actively for a very long time. If there's a chance that you can flip it around, you won't have that tower moment, right? So like the chances of God smiting you is like very slim because you've been tested, you've been, you know, you've been run through the simulation, you've been checked out multiple times. So now once your light turns on, here you go, light worker. You're going to keep going. All right, the other symptom and experiences would be, reminders of major traumas and events of significance in the past cycle. So as you're closing out this cycle, you're probably going to get, depending on how large your cycle, it could be a large cycle, it could be a small cycle you're closing out. I'm talking to light workers of a lot of waves, right? But you know what kind of wave you're closing out because you're probably going to have like memories or experiences from how far back you're going. For example, like I was getting a lot of things from the 90s. I was reconnecting from people that I knew from back then. A lot. And so all the experience so I knew like that's how big my cycle was. Like the cycle that I'm closing out, it goes all the way to there. Every major experience that I've had or like trauma or something has come up for me to be like, oh, I remember that. So you're going to get a glimpse of all like the significant moments, experiences that you've had in your life or the most significant traumas that you had in life since that cycle began all the way up until, you know, now. Let's see what that's about. Okay, finder of lost things. Okay, so the reason is because you have to acknowledge that experience, that memory is there, but you're going to be putting it away now. You know, you've had these experiences, you've had these traumas, you've done the growth and the healing and all the experiences that went with that as well. Trying different paths, trying different decisions and what this and that and whatever. Now, those memories are going to feel like a far off, distant memory because they're going to be put away once you start this new cycle. So you have to be reminded that you have these memories and experiences to pull from if you need it in the future. But as of now, they're going to be put away. But you have to acknowledge what it is you're putting away. The High Priestess. Wow. Okay. In reverse. So you can see that like you're moving into this next role, which is like the role of like a high priestess or priest or shaman or guru or highly spiritual leader, whatever it is that you're stepping into that new role. It is one of leadership, even if it's not like related to spirituality. It includes a lot of spirituality because you have to have a lot of intuition in whatever leadership role you have. Leaders are very highly intuitive. So whatever role you're stepping into that's leadership kind, you need to have a lot of intuition in order to step up in that way. Okay, and another symptom or experience is Kundalini rising. So you might have an explosion of sexual and creative energy. It's so electrifying that your mind, body, and soul are connected to the divine all at the same time, on the same page in a very big way. It's like it turned on this funnel, this fountain of intense energy. So you're going to see an uptick in your creativity and your sexual energies, and a kind of Kundalini rising or Kundalini activation, if you will. What is this for? Mother. Mother in reverse, and Nine of Wands. So something that you've been trying to birth for a very long time is going to come through. For some of you, that is actual child. And for others, it could be just like, a partnership, a business, a soul mission, a home, a lifestyle, a different way of being, a completely different life, a huge manifestation, a huge sort of goal to achieve, whatever it is you've been gestating for a long time. It's finally coming through. It's finally gonna start showing. November, I relate it to the number 9 as well. So when I see the 9 of Wands, I'm getting that like it's starting to manifest now. All right, another. Oh yeah, and which is gonna lead to the next symptom or experience. You're gonna have urge to have new or more creative pursuits. Yeah, you're gonna want to be creative like crazy. You also probably are opening up to having more sacred sexual experiences or sacred intimate moments with others, platonic or romantic, both. Summer, yeah, it's gonna feel like summer. So if you're getting feelings of like, hey, it's like, colder where you are now, whether you're in the northern hemisphere, or if you're in the southern hemisphere and it's getting kind of warmer, whatever. This is a feeling of like summer. This feeling of like, hey, spring is around the corner, summer is around the corner. Kind of a feeling of, even if it's cold where you are or getting colder, it's just like a feeling of like, I'm about to have some fun. Things are about to pop off. I'm about to like get into my best self. I'm about to like have a lot of energy, have a lot of fun, hang out with a lot of people, enjoy my work, enjoy my days. Like there's a feeling of like it's summer coming in November. Yeah. Ace of Cups, yeah, see? So I do feel like there's at least one opportunity that's going to show you and tell you, like, yes, this is actually happening. So for a lot of you, you are manifesting that romantic partner, some sort of career opportunity. It might be all related to a financial opportunity. There might be a home opportunity, friends and family opportunity, adventure, and soul purpose opportunity, creative and expressive opportunity. Whatever it is, it feels like it's going to feel like summer in November because this opportunity comes through. It's going to be the first of many. Okay, another symptom experience. A review of your life. Let's see how many more there are. A review of your life during the cycle which you are leaving. Some folks you knew for that amount of time, beginning to end, no matter what happened between them. Okay. All right, so I mentioned this before. You're probably going to link up with some people that have known you for the time period of that cycle that you're ending. So whatever that is for you, from beginning to end. They knew you in the beginning, they knew you at the end, maybe a little bit here and there in the middle. Maybe it was not so good in the beginning, maybe it was not so good in the middle or the end, but there was like whoever has known you for that cycle, maybe one, maybe a few, maybe several people, they're going to come into your life to kind of review, whether in person or just like you kind of recognizing that you've reconnected with this person, that cycle of your life from another person's point of view. You're in this person's energy in and out, maybe, or through and through. Maybe they're very close to you, maybe they're not so close to you or not anymore. But like this person, you're going to review your life through their eyes just by like reviewing like their life. You're going to be like, oh, this is how they were in the beginning when I met them. This is the experiences I had with them. This is where they are at now. You're going to do that kind of thing for like one or two or many people who you knew for that significant amount of time. Is that's significant because you're stepping into your leadership role. And Six of Swords, yeah. You're also moving away. So you're moving away from these folks. You're moving into your leadership role. And you're just doing a review. It's just, these folks are just in your life to kind of do a review before you step into this new role. Okay, so a next experience or symptom is paranormal experiences, such as seeing UFOs in the sky, seeing more like orbs around, and like the corner of your eyes, different colored orbs or the same colored orb, and meeting high frequency beings during your sleep state or during meditation. Okay, what is that about? Gratitude. Gratitude and the Chariot. Okay, so you're quickly moving. You have a lot of gratitude for where you're going, but the people from the stars like your spirit guides, spirit team, but more than that, because your spirit guides, spirit team have been around you for your whole life. People from the stars, like people from other dimensions, people from other star systems and other dimensions, high frequency beings and energies are grateful for you, light worker. They're grateful for you for doing this work and getting through it and making this happen. What happens here on earth affects a lot of other beings. And so it's like, thank you for doing this, thank you for pushing through, thank you for volunteering to do this and being a part of this and getting through the hard parts and pushing through and getting here where you are now. Thank you for doing what you were meant to do. Okay, so that's in November. You're gonna probably start to see more UFOs or paranormal things happening. And especially if you're trying to connect to beings, it'll be more easier to do so at this time. Okay, another experience, remembering another part of another past life or two. So at this time, where all this like really like high priestess, like a lot of intuitive stuff is happening, a lot of high energy is on the planet, you'll probably be able to remember another past life or two at this time. What's another symptom or experience? Having a good connection and understanding of the different aspects of yourself, such as your inner child and your shadow self. Releasing people, places, and things that no longer resonate with you. This is kind of obvious. We've been talking about this since the beginning of this year, that you can expect that to happen, around now, this September, October, November, December. Okay, and then having a calm knowing and peace within that little things happening in your life that seem negative is all just acknowledging the plan. We've talked about this in previous readings, and we know this, like if things are leaving your life, your favorite sweater rips a hole in it, you're gaining weight, losing weight, hair falling out, your favorite piece of furniture gets broken off, your car gets a dent, your phone is glitching out, or just like thing is kind of breaking, and there's an annoying pest that keeps being around you. Like these are things you already conquered. You don't have any fear of money, losing money in some way, or having to have having one of your assets or one of your investments go sour or something like that. Like we talked about this, you understood this is coming. Anything that no longer serves you or resonates with you, even if it served you well or even if you loved it, it's a sign that you're releasing the 3D version of this to get the 5D version. So you're not scared, you're not freaking out, you're like, oh, yep, I expected this, I knew this was going to happen. So you're prepared for it. Because you know that you're in a major transition phase, and this is a huge one, right? This is like decades worth of a cycle ending, right? For me, it goes like even beyond 2008, which is like the Pluto going into Pluto and Capricorn energy. Like mine goes all the way into the in the early 90s. You know, that's the cycle I'm closing out. Plus a lot of like cycles within that, like the 2008 Pluto one and other ones, you know, other cycles. I have a 7-year cycle I'm closing out as well, and a 4-year cycle. So I have a lot of different big like one that's like almost my entire life, and then like other cycles closing out. For everyone, it's gonna be a little bit different depending on where you are on your journey, but like you'll know which cycles you're closing out and like the length of them. And but like, yeah, if you have a major transition phase happening, you have to allow yourself to be in that transition phase. It's not going to change overnight. You're not going to see things right away. 3D is not going to close out and 5D is going to start. Like it's like you're in the 3D and the 5D for a long time. And based on the big cycle that you're closing out and the new cycle that you're starting, that transition phase is going to be a while. The transition period is going to reflect the amount of time in those bigger cycles that you're closing out. So it's going to reflect that time. So the bigger the transition time, it reflects the bigger cycle that you're closing out. And so you're just going to have to be okay with it and be in like the transition, not always doing inner work when it's appropriate, not always taking action when it's appropriate, having time to lay back, but using your energy creatively, intuitively when you feel like it. You know the flow. Just be in the transition period and be okay that you're in the transition period. That's when you know things are going to start moving again, when you're okay that you're in the transition period. You know things are going to change in your life when you're okay with these quote-unquote seemingly negative things start happening, because you know, oh, this is just a sign that everything's closing out. You're okay when glimpses of past trauma comes up, because you understand these are just glimpses. This is just a review of what you went through. You're okay because like the hard part was over months ago, right? Or recently, like, you know, you're just moving into the new phase now, and a lot of weird things pop up, but they don't bother you. They don't mean nothing. They're just showing you what's moving on. All right, so in terms of the transition phase and having a calm peace, knowing that this is happening, this is the last card I'm going to pull. Persistence and the Magician. So your persistence paid off, and you're now manifesting this beautiful thing. This is it. This is going into 5D. So yeah, this is going into your new life. This is going into manifesting things. The magic zone. The exhilaration of discombobulation. I think it's going to get very exciting for you. November is going to be extremely exciting. There's going to be so many changes. It's going to be a sign. It's going to be a huge sign. Like, you're going to get that opportunity. You're going to see things changing. You're going to see people react to you differently. Your light turning on. Your gifts turning on. Like this, we talked about this in October in that monthly forecast, and it's happening now in November. Because it takes that time. This is a huge transition period, okay? It's like decades worth. For some people more, you know? So this is a huge cycle that we're closing out. And so you're going to see like a lot of magical things happen. And I think you're going to be surprised when like you finally, like, we got that like, that's not what I wanted. Wait, actually, that's exactly what I wanted. Kind of being like surprised. I even said one of my love readings recently that like you might be so shocked that you finally meet this person, and at first you're kind of like, oh, this isn't my person, or like realizing you both actually never had a relationship on this level with someone who is like you in vibration. So you're both experiencing things for the first time, whereas before you might have been so guarded, things might have been like kind of wonky in your relationship. This could be same for financial life, for your career life, for your soul family, for your living situation, and for your lifestyle. So you're gonna see like all these things kind of, there's something that's going to happen in November that's going to give you confirmation that this is actually happening. The dolphin collar, pure, joyful friendships and loving help. What you can concentrate on right now is just focusing on being happy, letting the fun times come in, enjoying it. Know what's going to come through, because you're going to see proof in your life in November, and enjoying this blessing that you so deserve. All right, Lightworker, so I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, I really appreciate like a comment. Let me know which energy really like called out to you the most, like resonated with you the most. What do you think? What are the signs, and what have your guides and higher self been telling you is going to definitely happen in November? It'd be nice to kind of check notes with each other. All right, beautiful Lightworker, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, a beautiful November, and I wish you much love and light.